Somewhere in your day, you won an argument that no one else knows happened. You said the exact right thing. The timing was perfect. They had nothing to come back with. And it changed nothing, because the other person was only in your head. You've done this so many times it doesn't feel strange anymore. A conversation starts up while you're driving, or rinsing a plate, or lying in the dark waiting for sleep. Someone says something. You answer. They push back. You answer better. And for a few minutes, you're fully somewhere that doesn't exist. Most of these conversations will never happen. Some part of you knows that, even while you're in the middle of one. But your mind keeps drafting them anyway. The message you might need to send. The thing you'll say if they bring it up. The explanation you'll have ready if someone questions you. You write the lines, you learn the lines, and then you wait for a scene that, most of the time, never gets called. It would be easy to call this overthinking and leave it there. But you're not turning these conversations over for no reason. You're trying to be ready. Somewhere along the way, being caught without an answer started to feel unsafe. Not unsafe like danger, unsafe like exposure. Like if the moment came and you stood there with nothing, something about you would be seen that you didn't want seen. So, you stopped letting those moments arrive unprepared. You started meeting them early, in private, where you could get them right before anyone was watching. If you rehearse the hard conversation enough times, maybe it won't cut as deep when it comes. If you picture the criticism first, maybe it won't catch you off guard. If you've already imagined them pulling away, maybe you won't fall apart if they actually do. So the rehearsing isn't really about the conversation at all. It's about the feeling you're trying to get out ahead of. What you're really doing is reaching for the ache before it can reach you. Trying to feel it early, on your own terms, so it can't arrive one day and catch you undefended. The strange thing is that you don't just write your own lines, you write theirs too. You decide what the other person says, how their face changes, what tone they use. And given the choice, your mind almost always writes them harder than they would really be. The version of your friend in your head is colder. The imagined boss is sharper. The person you love is more disappointed than they would ever actually be. You're not rehearsing the real person. You're rehearsing the worst one you can build out of them. Which means you spend hours defending yourself against people who, in real life, were never going to attack. Then there's the comeback that arrives too late. The conversation already ended, hours ago, maybe days, and suddenly the perfect line lands in your mind, fully formed, exactly what you should have said. And instead of letting it go, you keep it. You file it. You run it again and again, rehearsing for a rematch that is never going to be scheduled. Some of the conversations you practice most are ones that already happened and closed a long time ago. And then there's the waiting. You send a message, and before the reply comes, the silence turns into its own kind of stage. You read their last words again. You imagine the tone they'll answer in. You build the version where they're annoyed, the version where they've gone quiet on purpose, the version where you said too much, and you draft your response to each one before a single one has happened. By the time they actually answer, usually with something completely ordinary, you've already lived through 4 conversations that were never real. The trouble with all of it is that the rehearsal almost never matches the real thing. People don't say their lines the way you wrote them. The conversation you practice 20 times happens once, completely differently, and every bit of preparation just sits there, unused. You walk away having rehearsed for a play that got rewritten the second it began. And the conversations that go exactly as you feared, those are rare, much rarer than the number of times you've already lived them. You've sat through 100 private versions of a goodbye, an accusation, a disappointment, for every single one that actually arrived. Your mind charged you the full emotional price of each, up front, whether or not the bill ever came due. That part is what quietly wears you down. What truly drains you is happening lower than thought, somewhere in the body. You don't just imagine the conversation, you sit through it physically. Your jaw tightens at a sentence no one said out loud. Your chest drops at a reaction that exists only behind your eyes. By the time the rehearsal ends, you're as worn out as if the whole thing had been real, because to the part of you that doesn't separate imagined from actual, it was. This is why you can reach the end of a day where nothing went wrong and still feel hollowed out. On paper, it was an ordinary, quiet day. Inside, you handled 3 confrontations, defended yourself twice, and apologized to someone who was never upset with you in the first place. None of it showed on your face. All of it took something from you. Underneath all of this is something quieter. Underneath the rehearsing is a quiet hope you might never say out loud, that if you can just find the exact right words, you can control how the other person feels. That the perfect sentence will keep them from being hurt or angry or gone. It's a heavy thing to carry without realizing you're carrying it. The belief that someone else's reaction rests on whether you scripted yourself well enough. And it isn't true, even though it feels like it should be. People feel what they feel, mostly for reasons that have little to do with your wording. The right line was never going to hand you control over them. It only ever gave the fear something to do. The rehearsing gets loudest around the people who matter most to you. You don't draft careful speeches for strangers. You draft them for the ones you can't afford to lose, whose disappointment would actually land somewhere tender. The scripting is a kind of care that got bent out of shape. It's how a part of you tries to protect the relationships it's most frightened of damaging. So the instinct underneath all of this isn't a flaw in your character. It started as something almost gentle, a wish to handle people carefully, to not get it wrong, to keep the ones you love close. Somewhere it picked up the idea that the way to stay safe with people was to never be caught unready. And so, it keeps you ready. Constantly. For everyone. But a mind that's always writing the next scene rarely gets to be in the one it's already standing in. While you're rehearsing what to say at dinner, the dinner is happening without you. While you're drafting the reply in your head, you're not really hearing the person in front of you. The preparation keeps pulling you out of the very moments it was trying to protect. And the real conversations, the ones that go fine, which is most of them, barely register. You don't replay the easy ones. Your mind only keeps the receipts for the hard versions and the imagined ones, the times it went wrong, the times it might. So it begins to feel as though talking to people is dangerous, when in truth, almost all of yours have been unremarkable. The rehearsing quietly edits your memory of your own life, leaving you feeling surrounded by conflict that, for the most part, never actually came. The answer probably isn't to stop doing it overnight. You can't simply decide to put the script down. A part of you is convinced it is the only thing keeping you safe, and you can't talk a frightened thing into trusting you overnight. It eases differently than that. It eases when that part of you notices, slowly, again and again, that the moment it dreaded arrived and you met it without the script in hand. that you found the words while you were standing there, that being a little unprepared didn't expose you, that the people stayed. You don't have to win the imaginary argument tonight. You don't have to write the perfect answer to a message that hasn't even come. The conversation you keep rehearsing may never happen at all, and if it ever does, you'll be there for it, finding what to say the way you somehow always have, in the moment, as it's needed. The part of you that rehearses was never trying to torment you. It was trying to make sure you were never caught off guard, never left with nothing to say, never hurt without at least a little warning. It has been working that job for a long time, quietly, without much thanks. It is allowed to set the pages down for the night. Nothing is scheduled. No scene is waiting in the wings. The only conversation happening right now is this one, and it isn't asking anything of you except to let it be enough. Perhaps the change you were searching for was never outside of you. Perhaps it was always waiting for this moment of stillness. So for now, stop pushing, stop chasing, and simply remain here, because something within you already knows the way.